T.
I can't see it anymore, but I wrote it down though. Hold on.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Just reconnected, but it should be back up now. That was unexpected.
Okay. A pop ilchi tequapnchi.
Yeah, tequapnchi.
Inchi and lilchi.
Yeah.
Okay, Meadow.
Coach, if you could get off my foot, that'd be great. The dogs are right behind us, so I had to get Coach off my foot. Up.
Tuskawas.
Tuskawas. Tusk.
Mala Tuskawas.
Mla Tuskawas. Mla.
Sapulkas.
Tuquakla.
Apapulchi. Tuquapinchi. Ulchi.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah. So there again, you have some examples of reading and pronunciation. Anybody else want to give it a whirl?
I'll give it a go.
Sure.
A pup.
Good.
Tuskawas.
Yeah, Tuskawas.
Tusk.
E.
Mila Tuskawas.
E.
Mila.
E.
Sap Kilwas.
Sapulkas. Quaptlatla.
Quaptlatla. Apapalchi. And then
Apapalchi. Yeah.
And then Toapinchi.
E.
Okay. When you say E, that means good, right?
Means yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good. Okay. Anybody else?
I'll try it. A pup. Tuskawas. Tusk. Mala. Tuskawas. Mala. Sapkolkas. Tequaptlatla. Apapulchi. Tequapinchi. Nchi. Ilchi.
Good. Annie?
A pup. Tuskawas. Tusk. Mila. Tuskawas. Mila. Sapkulkas. Tequaptla. A pup lilchi. Tequapinchi. Inchi and ilchi.
Good. Katapunai. Katapatnai. Okay.
Apat, Tuskawas, Tusk, Mila, Tuskawas, how do you say this?
Sapulkas. Quaptlatla.
Apapalchi and Tequapnichi and
Good. Let's see. Anybody else? Leslie or Jonathan? You guys want to give it a whirl?
I could go unless Leslie wants to go now. All right, I can go.
Yeah, I'll try. A pup. We say autumn. Tuskawas, we say to cupcakeus. Tusk, Mila Tuskawas, we say Hapema or Ipsis Hape. Mila Subhuilkas. I don't know if I got that one. Subhuilkas.
Subhulkas.
Subhuilkas.
Yeah.
Tukwak kla kla.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Tukwak kla kla. A pupilchi. Tukwak inchi. Inchi and lichi. Ilchi.
Good. Before you go, Jonathan, a lot of times, you know, when we have our longhouse services, and you would hear, instead of saying a pop hwamik, you know, to raise your hands, put your hands high or whatever, you'd hear the word tkwap, auna twap hamisha, auna twap hamisha. So that would mean that now we're going to raise our, you know, raise our hand, because when we do that, raising our hand, we're saying, you know, we'll say, I, you know, then we'll turn ourselves around, and then, you know, ending the services. So a lot of times that term in itself, a lot of times, instead of saying a pop hwamik auna aikusha is one way to say it, but the way that I've heard it over the years, twap hwamik, you know, raise your hand up, put your hand up. In other words, that's how that would hear that. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Okay, one sec. I'm not avoiding this. Apap, Tuskawas, Tusk, Mala Tuskawas, Mala Sabhulkas, Kwap Shaka, Apapulchi, Kwapchi, Chi, Lichi. And then if I wrote these right, Auna Twap Hwamishcha, Twap Hwamik.
Yeah, we don't need an X on that. Instead of an X on the very end. Yeah, there you go.
And this was right.
Yeah, that's like a command of saying, you know, raise your hand, raise your hand.
Getting
Good.
more Nez Perce forms in the chat. I could type those out later or now.
And this is as far as we've gone. We've only gone here to our, you know, to our upper body here. We haven't even gone down, you know, to maybe to our ribs or our belly or our back, our hip, our leg, our knee, our toes. And I think that some of the toes are named too. So we'll go this far for today. And that kind of brings us right to the noon hour, does it? Yeah.
A little before.
About that time. And so for a few minutes here, as I have before, just want to leave it open if anybody, you know, has any other questions. I always like to leave it open for questions.
Do you have any names of the bones too? Like I don't know, like a bone for an elk or things like that, or human bones would probably be the same names.
Well, the bones itself, we say pipsh, pipsh, and seem like even I think that kumkas is also implies the shoulder blade. You know, even though we say shoulder, but I think it also implies the shoulder blade. And then I know that there's like Ribs, seem like we have a word for ribs. Rib. Yeah, the word for rib, and it does have the term bone like by it. Kpat, yeah, with an X, kpat bardai. Kpat, so that has a rib / bone, and it also implies the teepee poles, you know, how they kind of look like they're, you know, like ribbed. So that's what that kind of has. And let me see. And I'm not sure if the term, like, even though we said our head, but it seemed like I recall that we may have even had a term for what was called the skull, I think. Not sure. Let me find out here.
Yeah, I was asking about the bones because I know, you know, bone tools and different things were used for that we used with the bones. So I was just curious.
Yeah. Then for our scaldo, we have pas, pasca, pasca, pasca. Yeah, I know that the rib bones. I know that when we were doing hide tanning, we used some of those rib bones to scrape the deer hair off. You know, after we were making rawhides or getting ready to tan hides. So the primitive way. And even well, even I guess our skin. What if it implied just our skin, but like it would even implies a hide, even like a hide, a pach, a pach, skin / hide. Because I know
Marrow.
that. What's that? Marrow? Bone marrow? Like when I was eating up there last couple of years ago?
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Tapu. Tapu. My grandmother, like, you know, like the older ones, they never would throw like just anything away. And I remember that when we had the deer bones, she'd crack those, or either see how'd she do that? Anyway, she would boil those bones and just boil them, and then pretty soon we'd you know, she'd crack them or whatever, cut them, and then they had the long little sticks, like maybe small little, you know, their own shaved little skewers, and then they would be, you know, eating the marrow with those little skewers. Just delicious. Yeah. Annie's got a question in the chat. What does this mean? Lachs tamna, lachs waunak shush, lachs or lachs waunak shush outni wakishwit. In the chat, she asked that. So what that means, lux is another way of saying one, the number one, you know, as one heart, one body. And then outni means like sacred or holy, like sacred life. So that's what that means. Outni, yeah, outni wakishwit.
Ish.
Yeah, good question. That's on Isn't that on one of the logos or something, Manny?
I got the backpack from the language program, and that's what it says on there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes I would hear the elders how they would try to admonish the people. And the kunawata laks tamna laks paunakshash out ni wakishwit, just kind of like an oration of one heart, one body, sacred life. Good. Any other questions? And this will all again be printed out, right? Or
Yes.
emailed?
If I don't already have your email and I didn't send you anything last week and you want a copy of the notes, please send them. Please send your email to me in the chat. Most likely I'll get these back to Yins today.
Bobby, your question of put, is mind, whatever that you're thinking. Then when you say, maybe if you would say, like, Aunish Pwisha, Aunish Pwisha, I am thinking, then to do whatever. Aunish Pwisha, Inash, to do whatever. Sometimes you'd see that double pwit, like pwipcheni, payu pwipcheni. Payu pwipcheni. And so this would be like really thinking hard or whatever, but same time probably worried, I'm really worried. I'm thinking really hard about something. Yeah. So what we'll do, next week we'll follow up with the rest of our Waunakshash, probably from the chest on down, and maybe by then we could even, even if you're able to print out a body diagram and write along there, that's a good exercise.
Fred, do you have a minute after the meeting so I can show you something I was working on this morning?
Yeah, sure. Payu is like Annie, if you say payunich, when you say payunich, then you're saying something like really, really good. Payuatau, really, really special, very, very loved, or but the word payuit, is that then it changes into being sick or something. Payui, hurt or sick. Payui. But this, in this sense of payunich, payuatau, has a sense of just almost like even saying atnich, atnich, really good. But Payo Kwaslani is another good one to know. Payo Kwaslani. I'm very, very grateful. You guys are the best students I've ever had. You guys don't talk back. No disruptions. And thank you guys. And Chikoslanawa Shamatash. And Chikoslanawa Shamatash.
Hey,
Yeah.
Patashamash, Tautalix.
Katashamash.
Koslanawa Shamatash and Tunat Kodata. Tunam Kodata. Oh, what you gonna eat now?
Maybe some noodles.
Oh, Sai Wakus.
Or some or maybe some ice cream.
Wishing around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Belinda. Let's see. How do you say your name, Atkins? You're Hamish.
Hey, Hamish.
Hamish. Okay. Kwasla. Thank you. So Robert, so Jonathan, I'll hang on with you here for a minute.
So I'm going to stop the recording.